Welcome to another edition of Viper Bytes, and right now we are going to talk about Jonathan Taylor coming off of a monster performance against the Buffalo Bills. 32 attempts, 185 yards rushing. That's a 5.8 yards per attempt, adding up to 4 touchdowns. But wait, that's not all. 3 receptions, 19 more yards, another touchdown. That is 5 touchdowns against the Buffalo Bills. Now, I have a rule when it comes to fantasy. I don't start wide receivers against the Buffalo Bills, and I don't start running backs against the Buffalo Bills unless that running back is now Jonathan Taylor. Let's be honest. He has been a demigod so far this season. Now, anything short of shooting him with an arrow in the Achilles tendon or him throwing on a poison cloak, I don't see any way to stop him outside of maybe playing him in the first 4 weeks of a season, which in case he started the season off with 17.6 fantasy points, then he had a 6.3, he had an 8.2 performance. And to be honest with you, 4 of his first 5 games, he had sub 100-yard rushing games. Now, he is currently at 182 fantasy points. That is RB1 status. He's a number 9th overall scorer amongst any position out there. He's averaging 18.2 fantasy points per game. And over his last 3 contests, 34 fantasy points, 24.6 fantasy points, 53.4 fantasy points. Listen, he is averaging 5.8 yards per attempt. He's got 1,122 yards on the ground this year. He has 13 touchdowns so far, but he's been doing it in the passing game as well. He has 32 receptions on 38 targets, 322 yards, 2 touchdowns. Add all that up, you are looking at a player right now through 10 games, nearly at 1,500 yards. He has 15 touchdowns to this date. He is by far the RB1 in Dynasty, no matter what that format is, standard, PPR, whatever it may be. You may argue Derrick Henry maybe in standard, but I'm telling you, Jonathan Taylor, they are getting him involved in the passing game, and it's about time. Now, the way I look at things right now, the schedule, it is what it is. You know what, next week, Week 12, Tampa Bay. Tough matchup, but I thought the Bills were going to be a tough matchup. Week 13, Houston. Huge week for him there. Week 15, New England, but they're coming off a bye. Week 16, Arizona. Week 17, 18, Las Vegas, Jacksonville. Those are 5-star matchups right there for any running back. Jonathan Taylor, he is going to keep this momentum going the rest of the season. And whatever you've got in your bounty of trade assets, you're going to want to get yourself some Jonathan Taylor this season and going forward. I promise you that. Make sure to go out there. In other words, go get Jonathan Taylor. He's not just part of a home improvement project. He is a demigod when it comes to the running back position in fantasy football.